I don't
we
know
always
when
start
it
off
starts.
silly. Okay, we started. Hello, my name is Mike O'Shaughnessy.
And I'm Amy O'Shaughnessy.
And welcome to episode 7 of Restoration University. We're still trying to figure out how to start this recording device.
Come on, knock on the door. That's already a thing.
All right. Well, in this episode, we're going to talk about what's happened last week. We had our first board meeting.
Hold on. I feel like this needs like a moment. Okay, are you ready?
Yeah.
Can we do like a drum roll? What happened last week, Mike O'Shaughnessy?
We had our first board meeting.
And
we got incorporated.
Woo! So
we'd like to share with everybody and show everybody, like right there, you can see from the Secretary of State of Washington, we are now an incorporated nonprofit. So the next step with that is waiting on our business license, because just because we're incorporated doesn't mean we don't have to have a business license, which is annual. So the incorporation paperwork is forever. So once that's filed and completed, it will last forever long as until we decide to dissolve or change or morph. That's how that works. But a business license is something that we have to use to operate annually. So for us, the company that's helping us start church is going to help us file that paperwork properly so that we are all in line with Washington State. Mm-hmm. So wherever you're at, whether you're in Washington or other states, check what the rules are around that. Or if you're working with a company that's helping you, make sure you ask those questions. So
other thing is that one of the great things coming out of all of this, people are hearing a little bit of musings that we're starting our nonprofit, and a couple of our friends who have started their own nonprofits have asked us, hey, how do you need help with your bylaws? Do you need help with so and so? And then we also have friends that are starting their own nonprofits currently who are contacting us and saying, what do your bylaws look like, and what was your incorporation process, and how long did it take you? And so it's been really cool. It's been encouraging that we have people who are encouraging us. Mm-hmm. It's also been really awesome to be able to encourage other people. Yeah, that's kind of what this Restoration University is about. Yeah. So
we want to help you find the resources, and if you can't find the resources, you can always message us right here on this video, and we will look it up. And I bet you we know somebody who could maybe answer a question for you. So
I don't want to. Small world.
Yeah, I don't want to sound like an expert, but networking definitely is the way to go, because there's somebody out there that has an answer, and it might be a question that we even haven't even thought of. So
don't reinvent the wheel if you don't have to.
Yeah, awesome. So we had our first board meeting, and that went quite well.
It was awesome. We had bacon. Talked about Jesus.
We did. So we had our first board meeting at a restaurant so we could eat, because it was 9 a.m. on last Saturday.
Which just a shout out to all of our board members. Thank you for meeting us at 9 a.m. on your Saturdays to go over some really black and white governmental stuff. Yeah. And the other part of it was it was heavy stuff too, because we really want to set up our nonprofit and what we're doing to glorify God.
Totally.
And we don't want our verbiage to be puny, I guess, or up to interpretation.
Totally, yeah. We want to be very defined in what we're saying.
For sure, yeah.
So let's clarify.
And we also don't want religion to sneak in.
Let's clarify for people we've got 2 things, actually 3 things happening simultaneously. So we're launching a church, which is called Acts 29 Church, and you'll be able to see the website coming up pretty soon, and the Facebook page will be up pretty soon. And that really is how Amy and I, as missionaries in Kitsap County, will be funded. And the other side of that is it gives me the opportunity to continue to preach the gospel in different places, on Facebook, on social media, but also personally down at different places. We're looking at a place to host a meeting, a gathering, whatever we want to call it, just a church service where we can preach the gospel. Secondly, out of Acts 29 Church is Restore Kitsap. That would be a nonprofit.
It's a nonprofit.
Be running out of that.
Yes.
And then the third thing is what you're watching right now, which is Restoration University. Even though we're not intending to make money off of it, we have made it another doing business as Restoration University, because there's possibility that you can make funds off of YouTube, but that is not our goal with this. Our goal really is to just help people get started, to encourage them,
Yeah.
and also just share our journey of the ups and the downs, the like, we don't know what's going on, but we're trying to figure it out, but God's got the plan. So this is what
And
you're
there are
seeing.
downs, and I kind of been
Yeah.
convicted a little bit that we haven't discussed the downs.
So what's one of the downs we've experienced?
For me personally, or for
Yeah.
just the nonprofit, or what do you think?
Well, I mean, you said it, so
Yeah,
there's
for
some
me
downs. So what
personally,
was
the downs I think are kind of the doubt that sneaks in, you know.
Mm.
And I was just talking to a good friend of mine, Laura, who started her own nonprofit as well, that is super successful, biblically based, but really working on restoration in Uganda. So a huge, amazing organization. What am I saying? Huge, amazing ministry.
Yeah, there we go.
And she talked about doubt. And so what doubt does is doubt comes in and creeps in and says, can you really do this? Are you really equipped? What happens if you fail? What's going to happen if you take that leap of faith? That's the doubt. And so for me, a way to combat that doubt is to spend time with people who lift you up, but always point you back to the Word, the Bible. The other thing that I find that helps me when I'm in doubt is actually to remind myself where I came from, that I didn't get here by myself. I got here because the Lord has shown me great favor and mercy and grace. Yeah. And so reminding ourselves who we are in Jesus, that we can do all things as long as He is our head. Yeah, the Lord is our head. Yeah. And then the other thing is just surrounding yourself with people who invest in you personally, not your business, not your nonprofit, not your ministry, but who are willing to live life with you through the ups and downs. Yeah. We have some amazing friends who, believers and non-believers, who just see Mike and I, see our heart, and invest in our lives with their time.
Yeah. Totally.
Yeah.
I love it. Yeah. So, I mean, and I think some of the other, like for me, as I look at this nonprofit thing, some of the downs are trying to orchestrate a church launch, a nonprofit launch, and continually doing this while figuring out finances for us as a family.
Personally.
Being a husband and being a father, and figuring out the things that my kids and my wife need, balancing time. And not to go back to what I spent 9 years in a homeless rescue mission, just kind of pouring out and missing opportunities with my kids and my wife, community, church family, all those pieces. And so really the down is going, do I have enough time? And again, I think it just kind of leans into your doubt. Like, do I have enough time? Is this really what God's called me to? Yeah. Kind of wrestling those answers out. But in the end, I love what you said, is if we point ourselves back to Jesus, read the promises in His Word, and connect with those who really are investing not in our ministry or our business side or the church, but investing in us as people, we'll come out okay.
Spiritual health, our spiritual health is huge.
We'll come out okay because in the end, God's got the plan figured out. We just are sometimes behind.
Literally,
that.
Literally, it's already written.
So, also in the board meetings, some of the things that we did which is our first board meeting. So, I want to encourage you in some things that if you're starting a nonprofit and you have your board meetings coming up, a couple things you should be aware of is you should always keep a paper record of those meetings, those minutes. You need to have people in the right positions. So one of the things we voted on was the president of the board, the vice president of the board, secretary of the board, and they take care of all the paperwork trail. They make sure all the paperwork's in line. And then the treasurer of the board, which then they are the ones that are just finalizing whatever the like for the ministry or the nonprofit that you're running. And so you need to really have those in place. And so I just want to encourage you. I think we've talked about it in the past episode, but really having the right people on your board is going to help ensure success as you grow. And it's
the
not
right people are not just the people who are willing. So that is the other piece of it.
Yeah.
Coming from other ministries where people who are willing step into positions that they're not prepared for or not good at can be just as detrimental as not having anyone in that position at all. Yeah. So just for instance, I'm not a secretary. I'm super not good at it. I'm ADD. I'm over here. I'm on to the next thing. Taking notes for me in the middle of a meeting, legit,
Yeah,
does not work.
That was a struggle on the first board meeting.
That's
It wasn't bad. I mean, I love her very much. But it was a struggle because Amy's brain.
I volunteered.
Amy's brain works in 50 areas at one time. So being trapped into like one section of what we're talking about, when she's already agreed or said her piece, she's moved on to something else. It's hard sometimes, but.
And then they're like, "Did you write that down?" And I was like, "Oh yeah."
But in the end, having someone who that's their gifting and talented in those areas is a blessing. So one of the things that we did with board members was, prior to even asking them, we prayed about it.
We did.
We really sought the Lord in who we should be asking about this, and then gave them.
Are so grateful for.
And then gave them opportunity to pray about coming onto our board and what that meant, because, like you said, like not just willing, but that are gifted and talented,
yes,
and aren't just yes people. They're not just going to go.
For sure.
They're not just going to go with every idea that you have, but they're going to actually question and wrestle through that, because it is a team effort. So I just want to encourage you.
You need a little sandpaper.
Yeah.
You need a little sandpaper, and we're glitching all over the place.
We're glitching today.
Oh well. By the way, we're working on this whole thing, but the Restoration University side of all of this is the thing that is getting the least attention, although it is the thing that we are public about.
Yeah.
So we are very careful about how we're launching Restore Kitsap, because it needs and Acts 29 Church. There's a lot of buzz around. What do they do? What are they going to do? What does restoration mean in Kitsap? What is this? What is that? I think that's important, and I'm doing it on purpose, because what needs to happen is that there's already a need. It's already seen. People see the need. There's no transitional housing. There's no jobs for people who have felonies or are coming out of prostitution or addiction, who have things in their past, or they look like, oh, you obviously used to use drugs, or let's just be frank about it. That is the case that's happening right now, and you can call it gentrification, you can call it whatever you want, but that's the case. So I'm just going to say this right now: Restore Kitsap will be a profitable organization that is designed to put those profits right back into the nonprofit in order to create jobs, housing, so on and so forth.
So how are we going to create profit? How are we going to create profit?
Oh, are you okay? How are we going to create profit? That's a good leeway.
Look
at you.
I was trying to leeway into it. I was gonna show some.
He's learning.
So we're gonna show. So this is our first
product.
First product.
It's a sticker, and they are vinyl die cut stickers. So there we go. They are waterproof.
Yeah.
And I'm just gonna say we got them from
Sticker Mule.
I know, but I had their sticker so that I could
it's right there.
Here we go. This is cool. When we ordered with them, they also gave us this handy dandy coaster. And let me just say this. It's just so crazy. So a friend of ours, Eric, helped design the logo.
So
I gave him an idea.
Let's do a shout out to him, Eric Orn.
Eric Orn, woo woo!
And what's his company?
Well, he just sold the company.
Well, he did, but what was it? So
sketchbookinc.com. But just he helped design this. Like really, literally, what he did is he took my concept and he turned it into something that is more beautiful. Way more beautiful.
Amazing.
So we bought these from Sticker Giant, and then we're selling these for $10. Excuse me, Sticker Mule. Gosh,
there's so many companies. It's all right.
Forgive me, Sticker Mule, because you are awesome. Bought these from them, and then we are selling these for a markup, and the markup will go right back into purchasing more merchandise that we will then again sell. And then the program end of it will be, once that starts making some money, we will hire people coming out of addiction, prostitution, or what's called the life, addicts.
But I also think before we're even hiring people, we will be able to start some programs that are dealing with like
the end goal for the store will be that
some other pieces like that. Yeah. So really, what we're doing, and I think Laura said it best. Just at a meeting you had with her, that you can't start a snowball without any snow, so we've got to start some snow somewhere and get it rolling, transitioning forward. So if you're interested in buying one of those, you can go to our Facebook page at Restore Kitsap and message Amy on there, and we can get one out to you. We actually just sent one across the country.
To Illinois.
To Illinois,
yes.
to a friend of ours who wanted one. So
yeah. So the goal is to create a brand that aligns with restoration in Kitsap.
Totally.
But my overall goal is to restore, starting in a county, ending in a maybe a country,
Really, yeah.
And so we are also talking about how Restore Kitsap can be something that is duplicated statewide, nationwide, worldwide, to give back, to restore people.
I just got a Step Brothers quote in my head. Worldwide.
Prestige. Not appropriate, Pastor Mike.
I was just saying prestige.
No one watches movies that are rated any kind of way.
So the other, it's just been an amazing time. I love that our board members are so on board. And actually, we didn't even have a full, easy board meeting because there were some questions and answers and things that they need for us. So
which I loved.
One of the things that
amazing.
I have to have by next week is a strategic plan. What is the strategic plan for Acts 29 Church? And how does Restore Kitsap fit into those pieces?
So we have
so we're building a strategic plan. I meant to say that we as a
it keeps glitching with my mouth wide open. So this is awesome.
It's amazing. So us as two founders have to present our board with a strategic plan for the next couple years of what the church and the nonprofit look like and how that merges and how we want to affect the county and the different places that we're serving in. So
I think my biggest problem with the strategic plan is that I am a big picture person. I do see all and everything moving simultaneously. I can tell you the little details and so on and so forth. But because I'm being super prayerful about this, because both of us are being super prayerful about this, we don't want to make any moves or take any steps until the Lord has made it very clear that this is who we should work with. This is where I'm taking you. And so it may feel like we are
purposely dragging
our feet. And that is
purposeful. I like that. See, that worked out. We should have a little thing across there like us dragging our feet. But so strategic plans.
You can learn how to do that.
I think you hit the nail on the head. So strategic plans, especially if you're looking at one for 5 years, they are big pictures.
Yeah.
They're looking at what you want to achieve in the next 5 years. And then it's easy from that. You break it down year by year by year. And then even within the year, you have a yearly strategic plan that's broken down even further to what does this month look like? What does next month look like? So there are great resources out there to find strategic plans and look at them. Yes. So I would just encourage you to Google what a strategic plan looks like for a nonprofit or for a ministry or even for a business, and what do those look like, because if you're going to go for grants, if you go for funding from any county resources or community resources, you're going to have one. And it's just a good practice to have, because then it just continues to keep you aligned with what your goals are, your founding goals, what you're doing, because it's easy to come off course.
For sure.
And get distracted by multiple things, right?
Yeah, that's the biggest. We were just talking about it right before I hit record. There is the distraction, that comes out, that this and the saying, what not all that glitters is gold, is essentially how I filter distractions. This looks really great, grand, let's start this, but does it align with our mission statement? Does it align with why we started this? If it doesn't, that's a distraction. And what I would also encourage you guys to do out there in TV land or whatever, YouTube land, is take a class on project management.
Oh, yeah. We know a good project manager.
We do, and we took a class from him, and it was one of the most important classes that I've ever taken in my life, because what it did was turned Amy's brain into a really easy way of organizing all of the things that need to happen in her giant vision brain.
So I'm going to give a shout out to Pete Bertella out there and say Gantt charts are amazing. Not everybody will agree, but it is amazing how you can organize multiple thoughts.
Be careful how you introduce Gantt charts to your team.
Yeah, it's true.
There could be a real disdain for Gantt charts if you're
Totally.
not getting people excited about them.
Yeah. Well, and the other like people hear Gantt charts are like, I actually am more excited about them when I hear them. But we were lucky in the sense to take a class on project management, and that was at Kitsap School of Ministry, which is out of Calvary Chapel, Silverdale. And they purposely built project management into this ministry school because it's needed. And I
What's
think
great about that place? I'm sorry, again,
go ahead.
I have to gloat again.
Yeah.
Is it gloating when you're gloating on somebody else?
You're boasting on them.
Sure, we're gonna boast. Is that they see that people are ignited for Jesus and have passion and have vision.
Yeah.
What they also see is that people feel like they don't know where to begin.
Yeah.
How do I start? What does that look like? Or they don't believe in themselves. I mean, frankly put, they think, oh, well, there's plenty of well-educated people out in the world that know what they're doing. Why would I add to the noise, or whatever the case might be? But what the School of Ministry, Kitsap School of Ministry, has really done for Mike and I is give us the tools so that when we had the vision and the passion, now we also have the skills and the ability and the knowledge. So furthering your education is wonderful. You don't always have to go to a 4-year or a university to do that. Yeah. Look around. I mean, there's Global University if you're looking at becoming a pastor or just being more knowledgeable in the world. Yeah. And then if you're here local in Kitsap County, there's a School of Ministry that is ran outside of Calvary Chapel, Silverdale. Yeah. And there's if you're also, interested in that, just comment and we'll send you their
totally
info.
Yeah, I was going to say we can give an unsolicited plug. Kitsap School of Ministry, you go to calvarychapelsilverdale.com or ccs.com and you can look up more about that. Josh Lott is in charge of that, and if you're in the county,
we're just dropping names
totally
left
I'm
and
dropping
right.
them because they were like really essential in some of the things that we've done. And I just want to just praise them for that. And, there's also, it's called City Vision School, which is part of, and it teaches you urban ministries. You can actually get a degree in urban ministries if you're interested in going to school. So there's multiple resources out there. You can always comment on our feed right here. And
our phones are blowing up. I'm like, it's time for us to stop the video because people need our attention.
We're at 22 minutes. So
that's okay.
What do we want to leave people with today?
Okay, so two more things that I want to say. So if you're interested in purchasing these, they're $10. I will ship them to you for free because it's a stamp. Yeah, they're so pretty. Our camera's not super amazing.
There we go.
We will have other products that are coming out. I'm currently looking at apparel and all of that fun stuff, and that is going to be crazy. So the first thing is be praying for us, for sure, because we are entering this time where a bunch of the wheels are moving.
Starting to move.
And so we want to just make sure that we are intentional and not distracted, and that our first love is always Jesus, and that He be our center, because that is always the way things go, right? You're happy, you're ignited for Jesus, you're about to do a great thing, and then distraction comes. And I know that it's from the enemy, and so we fight our battles on our knees with our hands in the air, right? With prayer and praise.
Yeah. So I just want to encourage everybody, go out and get involved in your community. You already know the needs. You can see the needs. Connect with those ministries, those organizations that are just doing phenomenal work. Connect with them and see how you can be a blessing to them. And go share Jesus with someone because... Yay! Oh, there we
are.
Did
we record that, though? It was so weird.
We might have. All right. Well, if episode 7...
Brand new computer, guys. I'm sorry. We're trying. I don't know.
If episode 7 is glitchy on you, hopefully episode 8 won't be. Just get involved in your community. You can find us at the website,
which is restorkitsap.com.
Okay.
By the way, we are going to be working on it as soon as we get off of this.
Facebook page is what?
Restore Kitsap.
All right.
Instagram, Restore Kitsap.
And they can email us at where?
Restore You, which is just restore, RESTORE, the letter U, .AMY@gmail.com.
Yep. Or you can mail us at P.O. Box 1843, Silverdale, Washington, 98383.
How do you spell Silverdale? SILVERDALE.
All right, there you go. I don't even have to spell it. She just does it for you. It's funny. So
it's the only word I know how to spell.
Well, you guys have an amazing day. We look forward to talking to you in episode 8 and giving you more updates of what we're doing. And please comment if you've got questions. We would love to answer them and address them right in the video.
And accountability. We promise our Christmas tree will be down by episode 8.
Yes.
With that, goodbye.
We got another week.